Hey y'all, what's going on? How are you? Good evening. I told you I was coming back. I told you I was coming back. So, for those of you all who are new to this particular broadcast, I am Dr. Paulette Clark, and I am a part of Brownstone Worldwide. We are currently in the Brownstone Worldwide studios. If you're on Instagram, you're seeing a green backdrop. Everybody else, you see a lovely Brownstone Worldwide backdrop, either the KCCR app or you're actually seeing the company logo behind us. Tonight, we're doing a special broadcast on the 4 P's of podcasting. Let me tell you what I just did. I jumped right in. Y'all know that that's unusual for me. If you are new to this particular platform, let me tell you who we are. We are Brownstone Worldwide. We house brownstoneworldwide.com. We also house KCCR The Brownstone over here behind me. And also you can download the app. It is called the Brownstone Podcast Network. We actually have 3 that are in the network, and it is for podcasting. Okay. Right now, we're going through the transition of adding additional air personalities to the platform. We currently have 12 shows that are aired 24/7. So you'll get an opportunity to listen to those, some of which include myself, which is the Lunch and Learn Hour. Also, we have the Day Shift. We have the Rundown, Leanne Dulce with Wake Up Happy Sis, Girl, Your Money Matters. We also have Roshan Olanian and Dr. Michelle Josie and others who are in the fold, who literally are a part of what we do. We also have Cullen of Cullen's Corner and DJ Tony Sanchez. We have DeCarlo Collins also with Ear Hustling Radio, who is a part of the Brownstone neighborhood. Not only do we have our podcasting platform, but we also have Brownstone Living Magazine. Sounds like a media company, doesn't it? Because that's what we are. And our job is to make sure that we tell our stories our way. Because if we're not careful, we're going to find other people telling our stories the way that we didn't intend for them to be told. And our job is to make sure that we continue to be the beacon of people who are telling the stories of the everyday moms and pops and Joes and Lisas and Allens and Alice's out there, and tell the story that's supposed to be told the way that it should be told. And that is our way. So let's get into the topic at hand, because I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to waste any time, none at all. I want to get right into it. But before we do that, I want to let you know that this month's issue, Brownstone Living Magazine, has, of course, on the cover, the godfather of Brownstone Worldwide, Cullen Carey himself, host of Cullen's Corner. He is on the cover. You're actually going to get an article on him in this month's issue. We're celebrating dads and also talking to the people in the neighborhood. So you'll get an opportunity to, hey, Stowe Frequency, how are you? And we also have people in the neighborhood with Ramon Ray from Black Enterprise. We have Casey Brown, and you guys know her because she's all over the place on social media telling you guys how to use short form content as a way to reach your audience. And then we also have Celebrating Dad, and we also have our new podcast hosts that are Coach Jackie Vasquez. And we also have Kiana Shaw and Danielle Lipkin that are a new part of the family. So we're really excited about that. Really excited about that. Also, let's tell you who is coming to the Brownstone this week. Again, like I said, Casey Brown is coming to us tomorrow. If you missed today's show with Ramon Ray, guess what? You can head over to brownstoneworldwide.com, BWTV, and you can check out the replay of his show, or head over to YouTube and check out the show as well under Brownstone Worldwide, under our lives. Then guess what else? We also have, after that, Jackie Vasquez. She's got that new show that's coming to the Brownstone, and she's one of our new air personalities. So we're using this time to actually welcome her and get you guys to get to know who she is. And then lastly, this week, we have none other than the real parenting hosts, Kiana Shaw and Danielle Lipkin. They are new to the Brownstone as well. And we're really excited for them to join the podcast network and to be a part of who we are. So we're really excited about this, because these are people who, by all accounts, have learned and gleaned from the Brownstone Podcast Network in some way, form, or another, either through learning how to host, learning about scheduling, getting together and understanding what exactly they should be doing with their scripts or their clock wheels. So we're going to be talking about a little bit of those things today, so that you yourself can kind of get some understanding about what it is that we're going to be talking about tonight. So really quick, let's talk about what we are going to be discussing. So I came on here earlier and I gave you the rundown about the new series or the new course that we have, and it's called the Podcast Basics Intensive. Why is it intensive, y'all? Because it's 4 hours. That's all you're getting from me. You get 4 hours, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But the first thing that I wanted to do was to talk about the 4 P's, the 4 P's of podcasting. Why is that important? Because if you get these 4 P's down, you got it. You good, you golden. Okay. So let's jump right into it. And let's discuss what those 4 P's are. Okay. The first one is planning. Here's what a lot of people do when they first start deciding that they're going to podcast. The first thing that they do is they buy a bunch of equipment because they want to start a podcast. They want to start it now. So they go online and they do some research and they find out that they need that piece of equipment and that piece of equipment and this piece of equipment, and they purchase it. Okay. That's the first thing that a lot of people do. Hey, Royce Rogers, how are you? And then the next thing that they do is they set it up after they read the instructions that came in the box and they start recording. What did you plan for? What did you plan for? Because all you did was you started recording. Yep. And we know those people because it might have been you. It was me at one time. Oh, yes, I'm going to start a podcast. Yes, Lord Jesus, I'm going to just go ahead and start a podcast. Yes, and we're going to talk about collard greens and chitterlings, and we're going to talk about all of the things, right? That's nice. But how long is it going to take you before you put up your microphone and the equipment that you purchased and it catches dust? Ask me how I know. Okay. So one of the things that you want to make sure that you're doing is you have to have an idea. Number one, in your planning phase, you have to have an idea of who you're talking to. Okay. Who are you talking to? What's your podcast about? Because there have been instances where I have literally, here's a good one. Y'all ready for this? I can listen to podcasts or I can watch a video podcast or a vlog, and I can see someone who is never, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Perfect example is going to be a love and relationship podcast. And there are people that are giving advice on love and relationships and marriage that have never been married and they never been in love. We just regurgitating a lot of stuff that we hear. You know what I mean? And you know what ends up happening? Is somehow, because it's so hot topic, hot button, this is that, and it's so good, and we scream it at the top of our lungs, and we're all excited, and the platform is amazing, and everybody's dressed to the nines, and everybody's hot and young. We believe whatever they say. You wouldn't believe somebody like me that's been through the ringer, because of course, I didn't get to my 50s and gray hair for nothing, right? So I wouldn't know what I was talking about, but you believe them because they're 20 and they're hot. That's scary. Why am I bringing this up? Because one of the things that you need to do in your planning phase is you really need to make sure that I'm not trying to be funny, but it is what it is, right? Dr. Michelle. So Dr. Michelle Josie, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And she just put her hand over her face. It's a true story. That's how you get, and so people get to the point where they are literally just spreading poison. Yes. So Dr. Michelle says just spreading poison in the community. Absolutely. And it's happening time and time and time again. So in your planning phase, the one thing that I'm going to ask that you do is to make sure that you know what in the world you're talking about. How many times have I turned on a podcast and it's somebody spitting some jargon that they read themselves? Don't know first thing about it. Okay. When you are planning, number one, make sure that you understand who your audience is, who you're talking to, and make sure that you're consistent in who you're talking to. Don't talk to the single mamas tomorrow, and then 3 days down the line, you're talking to the married mamas. Different audience. They're dealing with different things. So make sure that you are clear on that when you're going through the planning phase. You know what else you need to plan for? You need to make sure that you are planning for all of the things that could go wrong during a podcast. When we talk about that? Because right now I'm live. I'm live literally on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different platforms at the same time. This is not recorded. What happens if one goes down? Which has happened. How do you handle that? Are you ready for that? So did you plan for that along the way? You know what else you need to plan for? You need to make sure that you're planning for what you gonna say. Now, unless of course you're like me and you've been doing this over 25, maybe 30 years. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about radio and podcasting. I'm also talking about my time working in improv and also working in the entertainment industry and learning that when the DAT turns off, you better learn how to open your mouth real loud and sing. Because those people that paid that $150 that came to see you sing, they still want to see their performance because they paid for it. And they don't care that there's no music. You better make some. Okay. So what do you do when you go live? What do you do when you have a host, a guest, and by all accounts, they don't have a freaking clue what they're doing, but they're your guests because you invited them. Ooh. What happens then? What do you do? Did you vet them before you invited them? Ah, that's an interesting one. Do you know anything about your guest? Or was it just a good idea because you see everybody else doing it? Does this make sense what I'm saying? Did you do your due diligence? Guys, this is what we call in radio prep. Okay? It is important that you do your prep. Just like when you are meal prepping, in order for you not to eat all of the junk, you got to meal prep. It's the same thing with radio. It's the same thing with podcasting. You have to prep. What does the schedule look like? How long is your show? Are you able to keep your show at the time that is allotted for you? Can people trust that your show is 30 minutes or 45 or an hour and it doesn't fall over into 2 hours? And what happens if it does? Do you have the budget to pay for that? Something to think about. These are the things that you need to be concerned with. Okay? The other thing that you should be concerned with, absolutely, is what happens after the show is over when the lights go down. What's your plan? What's your plan of action? What you gonna do? Or do you just fade into the black darkness until it's time to do it again? And what do you do when you literally don't know what your next topic is? What you do? It is so important for you to plan. You have to plan. You have to plan. Remember that. That's the first P. Okay? The very first P that you have to have. Hang on just a second, folks. All right. So that's number one. Does that make sense? I'm going to ask this question. Any questions so far? Do we get that we need to plan? And we can't let that slip? I hope that we got that because it's so super important. Let's talk about platforms. That's the second P. So when you're done with your podcast and everything is done and you good to go and all of that, what you going to do with it? Are you excited? Oh, girl, we got a podcast. Praise the Lord. Yes. Mm-hmm. Where you going? What you going to do with it? I'm curious. I need to know. What are you going to do with it? Where are you putting it? That's what you need to understand. And these are things that you need to know before you literally put the mic to your face. Where am I going to put my podcast so that I can get the greatest reach? How do I prepare for that? Okay. Is it easy? Is it hard? Is it really technically difficult? Why do I need to do it anyway? Is it super important? What kind of reach do I really want to get? Oh, and here's something else. How accessible do I want to be? That's important. How accessible do you want to be? For real. Do you want to be on popular platforms? Of course you do. But remember, you ain't the only one on there. That's something to think about, folks. Because if you're not the only one on there, you have to remember that these major platforms literally pay people millions of dollars to be on there. And guess what they're going to get? Top of the fold. You'll get found if you put it on your stuff, right? And you tell your audience where you are. But I need you to keep that in mind. Where am I going to put it? And how long am I going to keep it there? Right? And what are their rules? You need to also know that. Which one is it okay to put copyrighted stuff on? Which one isn't? Do you want to even put yourself in that game? How many seconds of a clip of your intro belongs to a songwriter out there? What does your outro intro look like? Something to think about. You have to think about these things when you are podcasting, when you are starting to podcast. Let's talk about number 3. Production. Let's learn the basics of equipment and software. What kind of equipment do you really need to get started? To get started, listen to what I just said. To get started, what do I need? It's not what do I keep using, but to get started, what do I need right now? What are the basics that I could do right now where I'm not spending an arm and a leg to get this done, so that I have the quality that I need to get this done? And what about the final P? Number 4, where are you going to promote it at? How are you going to promote it? What does your artwork look like? Are you going to have artwork? Are you going to hire somebody to do that? Do you have the time? Because you know what? Most of us have jobs. Most of us have different ways of getting things done. Do you know how to utilize the correct SEO techniques? You know how to do that? What about collaborating with others? I can't believe I just said that, but I've been talking all day. What about collaborating with other people? We're going to talk about that too. How can I grow my podcast organically, which is probably, by all accounts, one of the best ways to do it, especially if you're on a limited budget. How am I going to do that? What do I do? Are you ready for that? The reason why we're talking about this evening with the 4 P's of podcasting is because these are the things that you need to know in order for you to have a well-defined podcasting strategy so that you can do what you need to do. And that's get to your audience quicker. Okay? You need to be able to have the ability to publish your podcast on other platforms, too many P's, understand who your niche and your target audience is, and have the skills to effectively promote and market your podcast, period. Hi, Daphne. How are you? Does that make sense? And so that's what this is about. The reason why I wanted to come back on here and talk to you guys today about the 4 P's of podcasting: planning, platforms, production, and promotion. Let me say it again: planning, platforms, production, and promotion. You got to be able to know that you know your stuff. Everybody can do I had a young lady tell me one time, she said, I can go on YouTube University and get all. Yeah, you can. You absolutely can. You sure can. But how many Frankenstein options are you going to have? How many? How many are you going to have? Okay. How many are you going to have? It's important for you to understand exactly what you need to do to get this done. I am going to take a quick break. And let's get these commercial breaks done. All right. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about how to get into this intensive class that's coming up in July. Are we ready? Let's get it. Oh, hey, how you doing? Well, welcome to the Brownstone. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Paulette, and I'm a part of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses, of course, you guessed it, brownstoneworldwide.com, KCCR The Brownstone, the podcasting app, and of course, Brownstone Living Magazine. Guess what, folks? Do you see that sucker behind me? That is our affiliate program, and it is launching today. So listen, if you're interested in making extra money online, the Brownstone Worldwide Affiliate Program is an official affiliate program that is going to offer you 20% commission on each sale and monthly recurring revenue for each continued subscriber to what? Brownstone Living Magazine. Guess what, folks? That's going to absolutely add up, especially if you have a way to get that link to all of the people that you want to get it to. There's so many different ways that you can do it, right? Now, the best part about it is that there is no prior experience that's necessary. Anyone can become an affiliate to the Brownstone Living Affiliate Program. Signing up is easy. Once you do, all you have to do is grab your unique links and start sharing that with your network and social media and your emails and with your family and your friends and anybody else that you want to help live the Brownstone lifestyle the way that we're doing it with Brownstone Worldwide. Super easy to do. This program actually is going to provide you with links and creatives to share in a variety of different ways so you can easily meet the goals that you set for yourself. Super simple. Now, every sale that's actually made through your unique link means a commission for you. Yeah, for you. It's a simple way to earn some extra cash for yourself or for your business if you're trying to offset a cost or pay off a credit card or just have some extra cash on hand. You can sign up by actually scanning that QR code right there or using the link in my bio, right? It's going to say Brownstone Worldwide Affiliate Program. Don't miss out on this opportunity to make some extra cash for yourself. And guess what, folks? There are more ways to generate revenue through the affiliate program that are coming down the pipe. Get in now and start earning some extra cash. All right. And you guys, we are very serious about that. If you want to learn more about that, all you have to do is head over to brownstoneworldwide.com and choose the affiliate option, and it's under advertise with us. All right. So let's get into a little bit more detail on what we were talking about earlier today. Let's see. Bear with me just a second. People are talking to me. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the podcast intensive. Are you ready? You're going to learn the 4 P's of podcasting, right? You're going to learn planning. You're going to learn platforms. You're going to learn production, and you're going to learn promotion. It's important that you learn all 4 of these. Why? Because you want to get the basics out of the way. Why is this important? Because we do have Brownstone Podcast University, but it's a 10 to 12 week course, including a graduation ceremony. And you also get your internship through it too before you graduate. So a lot of people came to us and they were like, you know what? We really don't have a lot of time. You know, we want to go on ahead and get you in. We want to get in and get out. So we decided that the best thing to do was to take the 4 best components that were the most important with the Podcast University and truncate it into a 4-hour, 1-day intensive where you're going to get everything that you want from learning how to podcast. Here's the thing. You can go anywhere, right? But here's what I'm going to tell you. And here's something else. You can go wherever there are people that have 4 and 5 years in the game. There are people even selling this and they've been doing this for six months, right? That's cool. That's real cute. That's really, really cute. But let me tell you something. And I need you to hear me on this. How does Rakim say that? I ain't no joke. Okay. Here's who I am. You need to understand that I bring over 20 years of media to this platform of podcasting. I started in radio. I actually started in the entertainment industry. So yes, I have a Grammy, a Soul Train Music Award, and an American Music Award to my name. Okay. I've been in the entertainment industry. And once I was done with the regular touring and being on stage and working with other producers and artists behind the scenes, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do something with that. And I'm going to stay in a place where I can remain on stage. So I did. It was radio. I had a blast. I became a program director and I had a cluster of stations I was responsible for. And I was learning all of the things from some of the greatest heads in the industry who had been around even when radio was reel to reel. And one of the things that I learned along the way is that what we call podcasting now is nothing but talk radio. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to learn how to turn it the new way. That's it. Okay? That's what you're going to be learning from me. Because I transitioned from terrestrial radio, which is nothing but the radio with the towers when you're driving in your car and you're tuning. Yeah, that's what I came from. I'm going to give you the knowledge that I learned in the industry so that you can have the best podcast ever. We were doing podcasts before we knew it had a name. This was early in the game. Podcasting is not new, but it's getting more notoriety because there's people now with video and all of this fancy equipment. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with it. You just need to get in the game. Who is this for? Let me tell you who this is for. When I say you just need to get in the game, it's for people who want to reach their audience in their own profession. Are you a working professional and you're trying to find out exactly how to get in the game and to tell more and more people about what it is that you do? You got a busy career. You want people to find out who you are. You want to explore podcasting as a way for you to communicate your expertise to those people that need to know what you do. Because let me tell you something. There are people who use podcasting and it becomes evergreen and people start listening to it. And it's 2 years old. You can make a sale from it. Listen, you can make a client from it. So it's constantly working for you even after you have completed the podcast and it's aired. Small business owners, HR professionals, people who work in corporate, this is for you if you're trying to get and gain and retain employees. This can absolutely be a part of your employee engagement budget and plan. Once you get your NPS back, y'all know what that is, that net promoter score that y'all talk about. Listen, this is a great way for you to gauge and figure out how to communicate what's coming down the pipe for the organization. Great way to do that. And you're staying ahead of the curve. And it can help you when people come to you and say, you know what, they're trying to start a union, Jesus. Yeah, it can absolutely help you. If you're looking to change the game in any industry that you're interested in, this is a way to do it. So let me tell you what comes with this four-hour intensive. You're going to get a 4-hour live intensive and work session with me. Nobody else, me. Okay? We're going to learn a little bit. We're going to work a little bit. We're going to learn and we're going to do breakouts. We're going to learn and we're going to break out. We're going to get it together so that you get what you came for. You want to start your podcast. You ain't trying to waste no whole bunch of time. You don't have it to waste. You said that to us. So I'm giving you exactly what you asked for. So it's immersive learning experiences right there, step-by-step guidance all the way, interactive discussions if that's what you want to have. That's why, here's the thing, I'm only doing 4 classes, each with 25 people in it each. Why? So that I can have those interactive discussions that I need to have with each of you and exercises so that you can get started. What else are you going to get with it? The Podcast Basics 101 digital workbook. In addition to that, the Podcast Basics 101 ebook. The workbook is so that if you want to, you can print it out or you can use it on your phone and you can make notes or whatever with your little stylus or even with a real pen, and you can take the notes that you need, practice those exercises. And guess what else comes with that workbook? Templates that you can use right away, including some artwork templates so that you don't even have to think hard. You can go. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to stay the way that you said that the way that it starts. You're just getting started. And lastly, here's the thing. If you don't feel comfortable with everything that you learned in this first group with your 4-hour intensive, guess what? We're going to give you 90-day access to the intensive replay so that you can get more. You can go back and replay it as many times as you need to for 90 days. Guess what, folks? It's $99. It's $99. $1,300 worth of value for just $99. Now, if you want this intensive, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you are on TikTok, if you are on LinkedIn, the link is in my bio. And it's called the Podcast Basics Intensive. You can step into the world of podcasting in as little as 4 hours. And yeah, it's going to take you some time. You want to get in there and get what you need. But you want to make sure that you're doing the 4 Ps. We're going to break that down for you. Once again, what are the 4 Ps? Anybody remember what they are? If you do, type it in the chat. Planning, platforms, production, and promotion. Those are the 4 P's right there. You want to learn those? You need to go ahead and reserve your spot now for the Podcast Basics Intensive. The link is in my bio. Okay? But wait, there's more. You knew there was going to be more, right? We ready? Are we ready? Here we go. You're going to get an additional 90-day access to the Podcast Intensive. So guess what? You're getting 6 full months of the Podcast Intensive after you join the live intensive. You're going to get access to podcast templates to help you plan and organize your shows. You need that. You're going to get prompts to use with your favorite AI platforms to create engaging topics. Don't think hard. Think smart. And lastly, because we are a part of Brownstone Worldwide, we're going to give you a 12-month digital subscription to Brownstone Living Magazine, which is a part of Brownstone Worldwide. How cool is that? And when you register, you're going to get access to the latest magazine right away. Okay? That's it. The 4 P's. That's what we're going to be focused on when class begins. Listen, you got one more day. I'm going to keep the doors open until tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. If you need to think about it a little bit more, guess what? I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. We're going to break down each one of those. And let's dig a little bit deeper on why you need to get into this Podcast Basics Intensive. It's a get straight to the point course, no fluff, designed for busy people just like you. All right. If you have any other questions or concerns, feel free to send me an inbox directly. Let's talk. Let's get you in this class. And also head on over to Brownstone Worldwide, and that's on our Facebook group. Go ahead and like the page, get into that newsletter so that we can go ahead and get you started on creating your very first episode or reviving your podcast. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Remember, I will be back tomorrow for more in-depth discussion on the very first portion of the Podcast Basics Intensive. You ready? Hang out with me tomorrow. I'll see you around 12:30 or 1. Chat later.